Hello, Tasia, and welcome. Guys, I'm so pleased to introduce to you Tasia Valenza, Emmy Award winning voiceover artist, who today is going to tell us and teach us how to give great voice and rock our role. Tasia, over to you. Cannot wait.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bernie. This is just a joy to be here amongst you. And these incredible speakers have inspired me, and these powerful women who have brought so much of their unique and beautiful selves to this summit, sharing their passions to help us tap into our own greatness. And my passion is to both give great voice and to teach it, which at its essence means to be able to move, touch, and impact using our voices. And I teach this art of confident verbal communication, utilizing the skills of a voiceover actor in your own life. So you can play your professional and personal roles more successfully, more meaningfully in all of your relationships, especially the one with yourself. Because ultimately, this is the most important relationship you'll ever have. And it's one that we are all forever mastering. It's our mindset, which is the key to all of our success. And how we speak to ourselves makes all the difference. Bernie touched upon this theme in her brilliant book. Bernie said, talk to yourself. And I love that she says this as a part of a successful business plan book. I mean, that's incredible. And I love to say to give great voice is to speak with yourself, but only nicely. There was a time that I did not speak nicely to myself because I felt like I was never enough. You see, I started my professional acting career at 15, and I was already insecure as a teenager and dysfunctional family, but as an actress, it only magnified that. And I never felt like I was enough. And I was always being told I wasn't tall enough. I was never thin enough. I was never pretty enough, blonde enough, sexy enough. The list goes on of enough. And it not only affected my confidence as a young woman and then a woman, but I was always defining my worth based on Hollywood's definition of beauty, which I could never fulfill. And this diminished my entire being as well as my voice. So when I discovered the power of acting through my voice, which was voiceover acting, I was liberated from the confines of my face and my body, and it was life-changing. I was set free to use my passion and my talents to give great voice and to become a master storyteller. And I closed the door on my on-camera life, and I've never looked back. And now I love teaching the same art because I'm so passionate about what the voice can do. You see, we're always being told by society in some way that we're not enough. But you are more than enough. You are unique and beautiful, and your authentic voices deserve to be heard. And so I'm so excited to share some simple but powerful tips and tools to help you start this process to think and tune your voice like a beautiful instrument. And we tune our voices with tone and intention. So think about it. Do we want to motivate and inspire, calm and comfort, command and convey authority, be warm and inviting, or playful and silly? When we tune our voices with remarkable power of tone plus intention, we can tell our stories and land our messages and rock our roles and touch hearts as much as we touch the minds. You see, our emotions are contagious. So how do we do that? Well, now that you're a voiceover actor, you want to always ask yourself these 4 questions. Number 1, who am I in this particular scene in my life? Number 2, who am I speaking to? Number 3, what do I want? What is the success of the scene? And number 4, how does my voice and tone support that intention? So I'll give you an example. One of the well-known roles that I've had the privilege of playing is the poisonous Poison Ivy. And so let's take the Who. Well, she is known as a DC villainess. She's an eco-terrorist. Some people think she's a shiro. Let's just say she's complicated. But she's known as the mother of all nature and the hater of humans because they hurt her plans. But she's also a seductress. And I can channel that intention through my voice. And why is she a seductress? Because her venom lies in her lips. So now we know the who she's speaking to. Let's say one of her enemies. Batman is a well-known one. What does she want? Well, she needs to seduce Batman to get him close enough to kiss him and then kill him. And Batman might come close enough if she used the seductive tone of, Batman, come over here, as opposed to, Batman, come over here. That's more of an aggressive tone, more of a repellent one. It certainly repels my husband whenever I use it on him. So another example is my clients in a commercial reading, they'll ask me to have more smile. Can you warm it up and be more inviting? So as Bernie says, I slap a smile on my face and then it warms up the tone. And the bigger I smile, the brighter the tone. You see, there's a huge difference with me saying, I'm so excited to be here. And I'm so excited to be here. When we consciously tune our voices with tone like an instrument, we can complement our roles, support our intentions in the particular scene, which changes the conversation and ultimately changes the outcome. So how do we take this into our real lives? Well, we are all multifaceted, magnificent beings, and we play lots of roles. For instance, some of mine are mother and wife, CEO, teacher, speaker, daughter. The list goes on. And the most fulfilling and hardest to play is wife and mother and daughter. I always joke that my husband knows exactly how I feel about him as soon as I've said his name. Can we all relate? Harvey, right? The conversation, it really doesn't matter what I say after that. The train has left the station. And his reaction is more often than not reactive to my tone, much more than the words that I have said. So think about the roles that you play: mother, sister, friend, daughter, business owner, CEO, caregiver, entrepreneur. And let's focus on the role of entrepreneur because that's a great one to focus on today. So let's ask those 4 questions. Who are we? Well, I've looked up some qualities of an entrepreneur, a successful one, and these are courageous, trustworthy, confident, authentic, disciplined, passionate. So now we know the who. These are qualities, emotional qualities, aspirational qualities that we want to embody. Who are we speaking to? Let's just say a new prospective client. What do we want? Well, we want to inspire them to want to work with us. So how does our voice and tone support that intention, especially when we're nervous and anxious, which is a completely human feeling? I'll share 2 of my favorite tips and tools that you can use, and you can layer them together. And we'll use the acronym B. You want to be. And that stands for breathe and empower. You see, we can't speak well if we don't breathe well. And what I mean by that is diaphragmatic breathing. How many of you are familiar with diaphragmatic breathing? Many of you, if you're yogis and if you're singers or if you're speakers, you understand this deep diaphragmatic breath. And that not only supports our ability to speak powerfully, but also when we use it, we can relax our nervous system. We can ground ourselves, because when we're nervous, we which is normal, we get into our shallow high. That's our sympathetic nervous system with the fight or flight response, and that releases cortisol, which is a stress hormone, and that does not create the ability to give great voice because it constricts our throat as well as the other stress responses. But if we take just 3 beautiful, deep, diaphragmatic breaths in response, we can tap into our parasympathetic nervous system, which is that rest and digest, which that grounds us and gives us our power and supports our voices. So I thought we would practice 3 of these breaths so that you can use them at any time, anywhere, right before your Zoom, if you're going to go onto a stage, or if you're going to speak to your husband and you're a little stressed. So why don't we take these 3 breaths together? I'm going to show you how to do them so you can see forever. So when we breathe in, normally we breathe in up here, which is our lungs, but that's that very shallow. To diaphragmatically breathe, you want to breathe in with your belly expanding like a balloon. And when we breathe out, our bellies can go in. Breathing in, the belly expands, and this is the diaphragm area underneath your, and then when you breathe out, the belly deflates. So I thought we would practice these 3 deep, beautiful breaths. And the last trick is when you breathe in, you want to breathe in through your nose like you're breathing in a flower. And you want to double the breath out like you're breathing out a candle. So we breathe in. Why don't we place our hands right underneath our belly so we can feel the expansion? You can place your other hand on your heart if you like, which really is a beautiful grounding technique and connects you to your heart. And let's breathe in for 3 and out for 6, and I'll count us in. Ready? Okay. Breathe in for 3. And breathe out for 6. Breathe in for 3. And out for 6. Breathe in for 3. And out for 6. And how do you feel? Isn't that amazing that we can ground ourselves just by taking some beautiful deep breaths? And you can use that anytime you need, and it can make you feel so much more powerful. And from there, we go to the E of empower. So of course we need to practice our pitches and our speeches and our presentations, and we can empower ourselves when we're practicing the night before, the day before, the minute before with our power pose. Are any of you familiar with Amy Cuddy's famous TED Talk on power posing? I'm sure that many of you have seen it. For those of you who haven't, she's a professor out of Harvard, and she did a TED Talk on the ability to hack our minds with our bodies with the power pose, which is the V for victory, or the Superman Wonder Woman pose. And standing or holding this pose, even sitting for 2 minutes, has been studied to raise our testosterone, which is our power hormone, and lower our cortisol levels, which is that stress hormone, the same thing we were lowering when we did that lovely deep breathing. And we can do this for 2 minutes and add the give great voice component of creating that nice, warm, authoritative, trustworthy tone. So again, I'd love to make this interactive. Let's do a power pose together. And we're going to affirm and empower those same qualities that I talked about as a successful entrepreneur. And I will say them and you'll repeat. So let's get into that power pose. Find the one that you feel good. I'm going to go for my Wonder Woman pose. I'll say, you repeat. Are you ready? Here we go. I am courageous. I am trustworthy. I am confident. I am authentic. I am disciplined. I am passionate. Woo! So how does that feel? Isn't that amazing that we can hack our minds and feel that energy, how we speak and affirm and empower, and use it all to give great voice. So you can use these tools right away, and you can have them for yourself in all the areas of your relationships. And always remember, think about the roles that you're going to be playing. Think about the who am I? Who am I speaking to? What do I want? And how does my voice and tone support the success of this particular relationship, this scene, this moment, before your Zoom meetings, before you speak to your loved ones, before you say something unkind to yourself? Remember to be. Your words and your messages matter so much. And your unique, beautiful, melodious instruments of your voice is the way you can share those beautiful intentions. You see, when we truly give great voice, it is a gift to the speaker, to the receiver, and all those who witness it. Thank you so much for letting me give great voice to you today.